Okay, it's 1993, and I'm all over the map. I've gone through a bad breakup, left college, taken a job as a grocery store assistant manager in deep East Texas, lost that same job, got on at the Tylenol factory, and got laid off from there, all within a year. I'm in my early 20s, when I'm supposed to go find a career, get a real place to live, and build a life. Thing is, I'm afraid of all that. So I go back to the small college town where I spent the past 6, maybe 7 years, get myself a tiny $200 a month hovel, and re-enroll in school. Now, I realize this is a mistake pretty quickly. All my friends from school are gone. My only company is a family of stray cats that keeps trying to move into my apartment. My only income is a meager unemployment check. And it's hot out. June in East Texas hot. There's no air outside, just histamine suspended in steam vapor. One morning, I set out to get a beverage from the convenience store across the street from my place. A lady I work with at the Tylenol factory is behind the counter. We start talking, and I mention how I'm not doing anything. She introduces me to the manager, a lumpy, middle-aged woman a full foot shorter than me with a mass of curly brown hair that hangs down her back. The manager tells me they need someone to work nights, and am I interested? That is the entire interview process. I have a job within minutes, a purpose, a reason to leave the house. I know any number of none-too-bright friends who had long, successful careers at this very same store. I am beyond excited. I arrived that night for my first shift. The manager shows me around the store, moving with the speed and intensity of a squirrel pulling an all-nighter at the ER. Here's a beer cooler. Refill the chili bin. Don't mess with the guys buying porn on Friday nights. She struggles for breath as she moves and talks. I don't know if she's asthmatic or a heavy smoker or what. I've been in the store hundreds of times, but this is the first time I actually noticed my surroundings. The walls are that pale yellow that started out white. Tattered butcher paper posters hang from every open space, advertising specials like hot dogs, 3 for $1. The smell of burnt coffee and hot dog chili permeates the place. Now, my big job for the night is to mop the floors. I learned all about making floors shine during my stint as assistant managing a grocery store. I worked with a 70-year-old guy with an old man name like Rusty, very few teeth, wore a boat captain's hat. He was my mopping Yoda, and I can't wait to show my learned skills. Now, the manager makes it a point to show me the drop safe. Now, anytime I get a big bill, I'm supposed to drop it in this time-locked safe that I can't open. That way, if someone busts through the door with a shotgun at 3 in the morning, I won't have any money to give them. I want to tell her, if somebody busts through the door at 3 in the morning with so much as a shotgun catalog, not only are they getting all your money, they're getting whatever sound investment advice I can offer. Put it in an index fund, dude. There's no fees. So the manager leaves. The line stretching to the back of the store forms almost instantly. Beer, beer, lotto, gas, more beer, cigarettes, gas, lotto, beer. Place finally empties out just after about 2 a.m. Now I'm suddenly alone in the store. I can hear the beer coolers humming, the hot dogs rolling, the chili vat doing a lazy, slow-rolling bubble. Now, when things get quiet like this, my hands start looking for things to fidget with. Now, I'm standing behind the counter just looking around when I notice this weird little key fob thing on a chain next to the cash register. I pick it up, spin it around on my finger a few times, look at it a little closer. It looks like a car alarm doohickey. Palm-sized plastic rectangle with a rubber button in the middle. I wonder what it's for. Press the button a few times, look around to see if anything happens. Nothing happens. So I shrug and put it back where I found it, and I decide it's time to steal my first hot dog. I fish a nice dog off the roller, grab a bun from the bin underneath. I'm in the process of applying ketchup and mustard when I am interrupted by a half-dozen cops flying through the door. Their guns are drawn. I raise my hand. Caught me red-handed, I say. Big hot dog caper in '93. Good job, guys. Yeah. One of them, a cop I'll call Shorty, reaches for the plastic doohickey and holds it up by the chain in front of me. Shorty and I have seen each other around town for years. I may have made cruel jokes about his diminutive stature on more than one occasion. He's a half foot shorter than me and probably the last guy you want to see when you call for backup. Panic button, he says, as the other cops holster their weapons. I can see at least 3 cop cars through the window now. All of them have their party lights flashing. I didn't know, I say. So they holster their weapons, and they turn around and file out the door with disappointed looks on their faces. This is a small town. An armed robbery is like the 4th of July for these guys. And I've ruined it. So they leave, and I'm a little freaked out. My hands are trembling as I drag the floor stuff out of the closet and start mopping. The next morning, the manager comes in. I show her the floors, which look awesome. She's not happy, though. The owner called and said you set off the silent alarm, she says, still struggling to breathe as she talks. About that, I say, I don't remember hearing the words, "This is a panic button," at any point last night. Oh, what did you think it was? She said. I didn't know, that's why I pressed it. Do you just go around pressing buttons to see what they do, she asks. I thought about this for a second. Yes, I say, yes, I do. Did you even think it might be bad, she asks. I'm pretty sure gas stations don't come with self-destruct buttons, I say. And if there was one, I'm sure there would be some code to enter, like on Star Trek. So she looks at me and says, I don't think this is a job for you. And like that, I was fired. Now, I cannot overstate the damage to my self-confidence that occurred when in my early 20s I was told I was too incompetent to work at a convenience store. I'd like to tell you this was a wake-up call. It was really more of a starting point, though. If you think of my professional life for the next few years as a Native American bracelet on sale at a truck stop in Albuquerque, bad decisions would be the turquoise beads. One thing was readily apparent. My time in this town was over. So I moved back to El Paso, defeated. A year later, I was sharing an apartment with my dad and selling car insurance for near minimum wage. On my first day at that job, I looked in my desk drawer and saw the same small plastic square sitting there. As I stared down at its tiny, soulless rubber eye, I could almost hear it saying to me, "Find a career, you jerk. Get a real place to live and build a life." And eventually, that's what I did.